Okay, I'll be going over an example of usage of my stock app. First, I already have the emulator running, so go ahead and switch to that. Go and show you how it works, then we'll go over the code. Okay, so first it'll bring you to the login page. It'll tell you to log in and register. So here you have the login. When you go to login, and this works for both the login and the registration page, if you just put in non-email, it'll say, please provide a valid email. And then if you don't put anything, of course, say an email is required. Even if you do put in an email, so I have one, test.com. Basically, it'll only check to make sure that it's in the correct format, which is something@something.com. Once you do have that, it'll still require a password, and then it'll also require the password be 6 or more characters. So these are all errors it has. It also has these same errors when you go to register. So go ahead and go to register. And just to show if you don't put in a valid email, when you go to register, it'll please provide a valid email. So here we'll go ahead and do a test email registration here. I will do, let's say, example at examplevideo.com. The password here, it does not encrypt it when you go to type it in for registration, but when you do log in, it will encrypt it. So here we'll go ahead and do this, hit register. Oh, I've actually already used this. Probably I've tried to do this example a few times. Let's do videotest.com. So with register, and registration successful. So now we'll go ahead and go back. The back arrow will take you back to the login page. We'll do example at videotest.com. Flip there. All right. So I can go and hit the arrow to log in. You'll get, it'll take you in. So you're currently signed in. Now it'll take you to, this is basically the home page. Just a stocks exchange list. This is a recycler view that will take in and display. Also, you can swipe to be able to see all the different stock exchanges. Yeah, it shows the name of it, its code and symbol, and then what country it's from. Oops. And then here we also have, this is the first page that'll have the navigation menu, hamburger menu. Click on that, it'll open this up. The Galaxy closes it again. Here you can navigate to the different stock search pages, crypto search, and then also log out. Home is just back to the stocks exchange list. For here, we'll go ahead and log out real quick so I can show the Google sign-in. Since I've already gone through the sign-in process, it'll just go through automatically. That'll go ahead and go through. It'll also log you in. Say you're signed out. The log out works the same there as well. So here, we'll do the hamburger menu and go to stock search. Of course, here the hamburger menu still works. It'll take you to the other pages. Here it'll say enter the stock symbol or abbreviation. So we'll go ahead and do an easy one. Go ahead and search Apple. Searching that, it will bring up all the information. You know, a lot of the different information you'll need, like the company name, what date this information is coming from, what the daily change was for the day, the percentage of its change, what's its high, daily high, low, what it previously closed at. And then for a 52-week history, it'll basically take all those numbers and it'll tell you what the highest number was and lowest number. And then we'll go ahead and try another one. Let's check IBM. And there we have IBM's information. So now we'll go ahead. Oh, and there's also, if you don't put anything, it'll say the search box cannot be empty. So I'll go ahead and also go to the crypto search. Now this will say enter the full crypto symbol, and crypto has to be usually done with like the slash between what it is. So ETH BTC also doesn't care if it's capitals or not, just needs the correct format there. Let's go ahead and search that. And there we have Bitcoin's information. It'll give you pretty much the similar information that you got with the stocks. And you see the date, the change, all of those things. All right, and that's pretty much everything here. Now I'll go ahead and go over the code for this. So here, this is the main activity. This is for the login. Of course, we have all the different variables that are being established, as well as this sign-in button and this RC sign-in. This is used for the Google sign-in to get the correct code when it does go to sign in. Here, we're just making sure we have all the buttons and the inputs are going to be established. And then this is the MAuth. This is for Firebase, of course, and the token is specifically for my Firebase that will link to the Google sign-in. And then we also have an on-click for the sign-in button itself. This is for the Google sign-in. Now here, or this is a, yes, Google sign-in here. This actually will be for signing in to normal login using your regular email and password. And this sign-in is for the Google. This RC sign-in, this is to make sure it has the correct token for the Google. And then this is how it links to the Google through Firebase. And when it's successful, it'll just sign a Firebase user and it'll get the current user. And if it's not successful, it'll give you a toast that'll say the sign-in was failed. And then here we have a switch case. This will just make sure it differentiates between when you click the register button or the login button. Of course, if you register, it'll send you to the register user page. If you log in, it'll just do the login user function here. Logout is pretty simple. It'll just take the Firebase authentication, get the instance of that login, it'll sign the user out. And then the login user, this is all of the different if cases for when you don't have the correct setup format when you're putting in different things. So it'll give you the different errors. However, if it is complete, of course, it'll log you in. And then for when the on click as well for the registration will take you to this. This is the register user page here. Again, registering the different buttons and things. It's very similar to the login page, except for the case here. The home button is the back button. It's going to take you back to the login page. Register user will do the function here, which again, similar to login, it has all the same errors, but on complete, this instead will register the user through Firebase. So not only will it register the user, I also put something in here. This part where it gets the reference of user and the .child, basically this is actually creating a user saved into the real-time database. At the moment, it's only saving their email, but eventually it would save other things such as like a wish list or watch list of the stocks and things like that. Of course, there's also the different toasts when they're successful or when there's an error. And then also this user page here, this is for the database itself. So this is what it's keeping and it's using it through the class of user. So then we go to the stocks page. This is the home page when you first log in that has the recycler view. And it'll get data from, so basically it is getting data from both this adapter and stocks data page. So the stocks data, this is just taking the name, the code, and the country to establishing those things. Then the adapter is what's taking and inflating the stock item basically view activity, which I have that it's setting up exactly how it's going to look. And it'll take this information from the API and set it up correctly into this stocks page. This is, again, all going to get the data as different strings from the API, and then it's going to put it into the recycler view. Here's putting into the recycler view there. Again, there's just a logout button that'll log you out. Now, this is for the hamburger menu and the different functions that will open, close the drawer, go back to the different, redirect activities to take you to the different pages. So now we'll go to the search, stock search. So here, this is just the strings used for getting the API on the specific search page. I have my API ID and the UI, and then here is the actual function for it. So this is broken down for how I have the search set up. Instead of being individual text boxes, it's actually just one text box that will display all of it, each on its own line. I also have it set to only display decimal places. At first I had it with 2, but I realized some of these stocks change very little, so I moved it to 4 decimal places so you could actually see it more detailed. And then, so here, this is just establishing the different JSON responses. And then it's taking those through the response and getting them. So we have a few strings and then the doubles for all the different numbers that it'll display. Then there's the error response. When you don't put in any search, it'll tell you need to put in a search and it'll display the toast for that. Again, this is for the hamburger menu for all the redirects of the activities. And then the crypto is actually pretty much the same as the search Java. There's a few different ones here just because in what strings are actually being searched, only because the crypto itself didn't have the same data in the array. So strings just had to be renamed a couple times. But otherwise, the code is very similar to how that works. And then, of course, we have the different activity views. The only ones that are notable really are things like the stock item, which this is used for the actual recycler view. And it's basically to keep its form and this and the main toolbar. So both of these are specifically made that they will display on each page that includes these two things here, so that they can be displayed on each page. And yeah, and then also show here, go to, this is the real-time database. And here you can see I have the users. And these are all the users I've tested on the real time. So this is the individual code that each user will have. And then here you'll see saved under that user is their actual email that they signed up with. So these are the different examples that I've done. And yeah, that is it.